Okay, so let's take a look at this issue that you brought to my attention. So you have your buttons defined here, and if you, like you said, when you click on the button, you're getting this undefined. Well, let's kind of walk through the code here. So when you click on the button, it's going to execute this function, and this function is going to try to reference prizes with button num. So let's first kind of show you what button num actually is when you get here. Okay, so if we do this, and then click on the button, you can see that it's 3. If we click on button 2, it's also 3. If we click on button 3, it's also 3. So something's not right here. Let's kind of just figure out why this is happening. So if you look at this code, it's basically looping through, and it's attaching this function to the onClick handler for each button. So you're just defining the function here. By the time you're done executing this for loop, the button num variable will be 3 because of the length of the prizes array. So you can't expect this to be what it is at the time of creating this function. So there's a couple different ways of doing this, but one way you can do this is to use the actual object that comes in here when you click on the handler, click on the button. So when you click on it, there will be, let's call it this, and this will represent this particular element, okay? So if we change the ID to be the ID of the array, the index of the array, okay, so let's do that first step. Now, since I've changed this ID, I also have to change how I'm attaching the click handler. Okay, so now we're basically going to say, attach based on this index here, because it's going to match. Okay, now when if I do this.id, I should see that the ID is 0, okay, or 1 or 2. So let's verify that, and it is. There's 0, there's 1, and there's 2. Okay, so now we have a reference to the index that we want, and now if we just simply put in prizes and run that test again, you'll see that it's now displaying a unicorn, a hug, a button. Now, of course, you really don't want to have things identified this way, so there are other different ways that you can do it, but I just wanted to simply point out the problem that you are having and just the concept here of the function is being defined and you're referencing something outside the function, so it kind of gets into the concept of scope. But that's what was going on there. I hope this was helpful.